greetings. Okay, thank you for joining us. Okay, picked up Random Energy, Bill and Ted. I guess I can channel Doctor Who one day. It's been a while for that. I don't know if I've ever channeled Doctor Who actually. I know I've connected Bill and Ted before, so tap into that. Oh yeah, I forgot about. I forgot to put the link out. Here, what's me up? Let me go into stealth mode and I'll be back. I forgot all about it. Okay, I'm just I don't know if this does any good. I completely forgot about it. Usually I'm pretty good about it, but not today. Takes a second for people to get in here. Not that it matters. This is just start anyway. Behind the scenes antics. Yeah, this is as exciting as it gets. Yeah, so I just felt Bill and Ted's energy out of just nowhere, which I thought was kind of funny. I mean, I believe it's in a good way. Yeah, of course, I felt also Sylvia Brown, which is not a good energy. It's a demonic energy. So, well, I don't care for her. Let's put it that way. Yeah, she's in. Yeah, I feel her vibe. She's not too happy about that either. That's what I'm saying on a live video, but that's just tough. I don't know when you do evil here. What do you expect? Super selfish and arrogant and so on, and she's got a lot of issues. So okay, I put the link out. Usually I'm pretty good about it. Taking it easy on that, huh? Let me check one more thing. Okay, all systems go. Somebody's here roaming around. Got up from their 12-hour nap. So, and also Intergalactic Police Force energies. That just came to mind too for some. What are they planning? Just to roast the place. So right now it feels like Israel is on taking it easy for right now. Of course, yeah, part of it wants to do genocidal warfare, at least the shadow version of it, and of course brainwashing the people and all that. Jeez, lovely. But then again, in the U.S. we have the same thing. So what's new? So at least they don't have the nuclear bombs where they're testing it out with with the trigger, finger on the trigger, basically. So lovely. So Bill and Ted are real entities, and the travel to the astral and all that. Yeah, weed heads, junk heads, whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of a fun energy. So we'll see where we get with that. There's also tapped into, I didn't put in the title here, about gargoyle alien beings, which is a new one. I mean, I know about the gargoyle energies, but gargoyle alien type hybrids, like it's like almost similar to like the alien, the creature of the space parasite, similar to that. I imagine there are good ones. There's always something good out there, but anyway, I imagine there's a whole collective out there that wants to be heard. More power to them on that. Doesn't mean we have to go into all the details of it. This is Army's Hard Economy, 5 sessions. Sure, I was going to change this. Too much has been going on. also the store here. I'm off YouTube. If anybody's wondering, you can't find me. I'm not there ever again. Yeah, I guess either it was something I'm going to say or something I've already said. I don't know if it's Israel related or I never gone that deep into that stuff. You have other channels that have 100,000 subs. I do conspiracy stuff all the time, and they've been weeding me out forever. So yeah, they've been suppressing me forever. So kind of by the tail, huh? Obviously, shadow government energies. If I had to tap into it, which I don't do it very often, but like a lot of channels are being watched, but mine probably is being shadow government watched by somebody. Not to put paranoia out there. Who cares? Probably some kind of transvestite shit going on over there, whatever. Can't figure out their sexuality or, different sexuality every day of the week. Who knows? Actually, I do get a military frequency there. At least maybe the MyLab energy, possibly. Interesting. Just observing. Because I guess I'm tapping in some of their vibes. I don't like that too much. What kind of effort is? I guess what I'm doing kind of gets others to, kind of tap in their own bizarreness, and it can interference with whatever they're trying to do here. You can say something like that. Not that I go too much into it, but you never know. So yeah, lovely. Yeah, they've been suppressing this channel. I don't know, like 6 months after I started it, I can kind of feel it, and you felt it ever since. So some people feel like they're getting suppressed. But think about, I was getting close to 10,000. I just got mostly subs, mostly just referral subs from other like podcasts and things like that. That's how I grew. And over like 9 years, podcasts or just my own keywords. So YouTube got smart on the whole keyword thing. So they made it more difficult to find stuff. Now it's impossible to find anything. So it wasn't always the case in the past. Oh, Priscilla's here. So I guess she's going to be on the sidelines for right now. Got up from her 12-hour nap. Always dressed for a party. Or a tuxedo. So, okay, we're going to... here she comes. Gotcha. Yeah, Fritzy's never here. On camera, at least. And there's Priscilla. There you go. She's observing. Yep. Okay, that was into that. 15 seconds of fame, at least for today. Or a couple of seconds. Okay, all right, we're going to Bill and Ted, and then the Space Police. So, all right, blessings. Greetings, Bill and Ted. Consciousness. You can say we are observers. We're not exactly the best time travelers. We have our missions of trying to get our timeline together, because we do have like a collective, meaning those that look up to us, which is the movie is correct. It's an alternative Earth where we are, where the world is a little bit more open to, time travel, intergalactic, shenanigans, you can say. So in our Earth's future, time travel is more known. So time travelers are known as like liberators, healers, and so on. And of course, there's time traveling wars. Realize ours is a lot more diluted compared to what you're going through, because your world is like an all-out war planet. Not completely, but there's a lot of it going on. You're not talking about time travel in the public domain, or even aliens aren't allowed to be known. At least in our world, aliens are, at least like our time frame, like our version of your time frame, is more widely discussed, even if there is a mystery. But it's not suppressed as it is here. It's suppressed everything. Now, obviously, some say there is no conspiracy, and yeah, that's where you get lost. But as you can see, there is evidence of some kind of cover up. And a bit of it is a psyop. To a certain, well, not all of it, but there are, well, I mean, psyops, there are obviously disinfo to psyops now. But some of those UFO, uh, incidents or psyops of, even the alien beings like the Billy Meyer. But Billy Meyer, that was not that wasn't government. Government did move in eventually. That was more of a friendly connection until it was interfered with, corrupted, and you're going to hear different sides of it. It's just not the best frequency anymore. Billy Meyer was okay with it all, but you can say that the fear of death is put into him. There is a bit of a Men in Black visitation there to, put a plug on it. If you're wondering, yeah, there's another incident we can't tap in on when you see it. We can see it in our minds, but we can't come up with the wording of it, of who it is, or so you can identify it. The Bill and Ted frequencies, think about two old men flying around in space in a phone booth. Yes, you have had younger aspects of this, but the older ones are more realistic. Because we know what we're doing. When we're younger, it's like two idiots trying to drive a car backwards or forward. It doesn't even have no driving experience whatsoever. So, yeah, yeah. But as we're older, of course, we take our girlfriends, but actually on missions itself. Of course, then when we do that, there is abductions, also timeline abductions. You have to go find them, different timeline. It's not fun. Well, because there's beings trying to erase us from existence. So we do have we conquered a lot of darkness in our world. Not, as you would see it. It's hard to describe it, but clearing out disinformation. Basically, we're just seen as heroes, basically. Interdimensional heroes, if you want to look at it that way. Well, like I say, when time travel is more known. Of course, in the future, not now. Now, your current state, it's not, the government is not that smart. They are covering up a lot, of course, because they don't know what to do with it either. The shadow government, they're not exactly the smartest either. None of them are. They just have power. None of them know what they're doing either. Similar to like Hollywood. So, but they do take it very serious. They don't want an alien invasion from what we're seeing. It was on the table. It still is, but they're not the ones to carry it out very well. Now, if they want to like hijack your planet, they can do it. It won't go well though. Like a government tries to hijack the planet. That's like a big risk though, because they'll probably fall apart. So even do Project Bluebeam. Of course, some of you have imaginations that's going on. Sometimes you are tapping into real reality. Sometimes you're just trying to create a reality. But that's the other thing. On your world, as you know, there are entities or your elite trying to create reality. So even like in The Simpsons, that's done very low key, but they're putting seeds out there for things to manifest, such as the Trump. Now, Trump, it looks like, not to be political, but it does seem like there was always, because he's tried to run, then stopped, and it's an off and on type, kind of like a relationship situation. So that timeline just kept popping in. So that was kind of an easy one, though, at least on a fictional purpose. I don't believe, obviously, due to the hate he got, people didn't realize it was going to actually happen. No one took him seriously. And that's the thing about Trump. He's never taken that seriously because he's kind of a cartoon character. almost like a catcher cat in some ways. Yeah, it's not always going to make itself completely clear. Well, let's see. We go into your galactic police energies. Yeah, those that manage your timelines. A lot of them are in the fourth dimension. A lot of them are not friendly. They can't shut down timeline wars, or well, not exactly. Well, timeline wars are just like any other war. Um, a lot of finances go into it, a lot of power goes into it. Yeah, that's a fragile time subject matter, as you can imagine. It's even when we're trying to talk to it, they remove the thoughts. But it's like countries going after countries, but this is more time travel energies, removing individuals from the past, tampering with the past in general, sometimes healing it, which it does help your modern time. Because there's so many people here have so much fear due to the propaganda, weaponized propaganda, and they are, you wonder why people aren't mad or not paying it. Well, they're trying to figure themselves out, trying to have some kind of life, and I want to pay attention to the rest of the world as it crumbles, and that's actually a good thing. Why should they care? Because there's so many agendas. It's good to focus on their family life, income, survival. Of course, the survival part, it's the soul growth. It's like the stairmaster of the soul. It just gives you not just something to do, but a sense of accomplishment. There's a lot more to that. Also to open up your abilities to on just a physical level. Some of you are doing on an astral level. Was it's another way of looking at it is like those of you that are opening up your spiritual abilities. First off, a lot of people are just not ready to use it. Of course, your common man uses it all the time. It's funny how they don't believe it, but they use it to manipulate timelines, people, relationships, and it is said, and then they say it doesn't exist. It's like, yeah, of course they're going to say that. So, of course, a lot of people have no idea, but they haven't. I mean, literally, consciously have no idea, but they're doing those things. They're just not willing to take responsibility for what they're doing, and that might take several lifetimes to go into that. But many of you that are spiritually becoming mature, you don't need anyone. I mean, you might need some motivation here and there, but I would say most of the time, you do it on your own, which is it says a lot. If you have the desire to do so, because obviously your soul contract, your higher self is kind of nudging along the way to learn more about yourself. Not that you have to tap into timeline war. Sometimes you look into the future. Sometimes people are just trying to get more luck into their life. But they want more stability. But as you can see why stability doesn't exist financially, because this world wants to show you it's not stable. And some people that get stable financially don't do anything. It's like, yeah, you can be stable financially, but you just squander your talent and sit around and do nothing. So we're going to take all of that away and make things difficult financially. And a lot of times you're just doing that to yourself too. As some of you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a break and all that, but there's a lot of, I mean, can you survive off of no money? And you'd be surprised how many can. Which says a lot. You find a way to manifest just enough. Some people are worried about debt and all that, the credit card debt and all that. There is some forgiveness energy coming in for that. Just do what you have to do to survive. Let's put it that way. The spirit world doesn't care about debts and all that. Your world does, because it kind of uses that in some ways like a debt over your soul to keep you here. Most just say, kiss off. Of course, others don't say the same, but those are like religiously under mind control there, and they're not quite right. You can free them all they want. They're going to go back to it because that's a comfort zone. To just jump subject matters a little bit, your intergalactic police, a lot of them are arrogant. It's just like your cops here, but they go through a lot of like you would see like a Flash Gordon movie, something similar to that. Not entirely, because there are beings trying to get in, insectoid beings trying to get into this world all the time to mess it up mentally. Because some of them have a lot of powerful mental state. They're just insectoid beings. There's not a whole lot to them, basically. Their bodies are usually pretty weak normally, but their minds are very powerful. Like the spider, for example. So if you ever get a sense, they're not going to make themselves known. They're pretty actually neutral, which is interesting for beings that can manipulate realities. They're pretty neutral, and if they get called out, they get called out. It's a different way. But yeah, they're not exactly. Well, when they have more reptilian built into them, yeah, then they cause problems. And some grays come from insectoid energies. Some grays come from just Earths that failed. There's a lot of those, like they evolved into the grays, but they lost all their skin color, hair. Yeah, due to a lot of time it is true due to nuclear war, but not always. But there is some kind of nuclear, some kind of planetary, health issue why they turn into the way they are. Imagine that losing. Yeah, it's pretty horrifying when you think about it. When you're like, lose your skin color, it just becomes grayish or greenish, whatever it is, and your eyes start to alternate, almost like a synthetic AI. But sometimes the Zetas destroy their own worlds to get to that state, which is pretty messed up. But you'd be surprised. Doesn't mean they can do that here, but they're going to put their knowledge here for just for lessons here. Some of you have come from those worlds. The Zeta is a very complicated one. The Zetas feel responsible for this world. Of course, a lot of them are just not capable of doing a lot because they can't get their own act together because they're very fragile and they're like more mind. Their bodies aren't the most powerful, so their minds kind of talk them out of certain situations, but they can read right through usually. Not on a weaponization purpose, they just can. They can get out of situations mentally, depending, like if they have a parent or a mother or father, and just, I don't want to do my homework. And they find a way of getting out of it. Of course, then again, it comes back to them eventually, and then they say, why are my kids so stupid? Well, some Zetas just don't, well, they're testing their abilities. Some of them just don't like to learn from the human environment. They rather learn from the astral realms and so on. So. But some of you run into some of these Zeta frequencies. But as with intergalactic police frequency, it is like a traffic cop for alien entities. It's not exactly the Men in Black. That is similar, but not exactly. Because they don't really come here physically. They're just more outside your planet trying to calm things down. Because everybody wants to. It's like, they kind of built a wall. You can say intergalactic wall. These entities still trying to find a way in. So they don't make themselves known usually for obvious reasons. They come through the underworld. Let's put it that way. But they have to cause negativity around the world so they can come in. Like Israel, for example, they cause a bunch of problems there. Entities come from they're not so friendly, come from other dimensions, and they can't even control places like Israel, even Russia. Israel, those top people are so arrogant. They don't, spirituality is like laughable, as like you see in Star Wars. But eventually they have to come to terms with it. Obviously, your hippies, they're out there already have, but government officials, those that are really remove the mind control, allow spirit to be free. Yeah.